Salam! Welcome to my channel, Stranger in Tehran, a channel about all things Iran and the Persian language. If you are following me on Instagram, you probably already know that due to some health issues, my diet has changed quite a lot. And now I'm an ambassador of healthy eating and healthy food. But it wasn't always like that. A few years ago, I found an article in a newspaper about different old sandwich shops all around Tehran. And I offered to my husband to check out some of them and try the most famous and popular sandwiches. We managed to go, I think, to 3 sandwich shops, and I even filmed some of it. So I really wanted to make a video out of it, and like at that time I was thinking that I would continue going to other sandwich shops, and I just wanted to gather more material. But unfortunately, a lot of things happened, and that is why I didn't have a chance to make a video out of it right away. But now I think the time has come, because I'm not sure I will be able to try any more Iranian sandwiches, and that is why I decided to make this video finally and share those experiences with you. Also, in this video, I am going to teach you how to make a very basic Iranian-style sandwich, and we're going to make it together. Make sure to watch the video till the very end. But for now, let's start with the first sandwich shop. While I'm still alive after eating it. Let's see. As you can see, the first experience was not the best. But let me tell you about my first experience with the Iranian style sandwiches. So when I came to Iran for the first time, not maybe the first, maybe a second time, a third time, of course I tried an Iranian sandwich, and the first thing that surprised me a lot was the size of the sandwich. Like back then, like maybe 15 years ago, sandwiches used to be like that. I think they were huge, a huge piece of bread and packed with cold cuts. Like cold cuts were put in several layers. That was quite a lot of food for one person, and I remember that back then I would have just half of the sandwich, and for many years my husband and I, whenever we went out and had a sandwich, we used to cut it in half and share it, because that was literally too much for one person. Now sandwiches are not as big as they used to be 15 years ago, and I think probably now one person can handle one sandwich. Another thing that surprised me when I just tried Iranian sandwiches for the first time was the type of meat that they use in sandwiches, and the type of cold cuts that they use. And what was interesting for me, because like cold cuts and this kind of meat is very popular in Russia as well, but for me it was very interesting that some types of cold cuts, they have pistachios inside, and that was like a very Iranian thing to do, to put pistachios inside meat. It's a very creative thing to use pistachios. So let me also tell you a couple of things about how sandwiches appeared in Iran and when it happened. Actually, the first, probably one of the first sandwich shops was opened in Tehran only in 1949. Here you can see a newspaper clip with an ad about the opening of this sandwich shop. Actually, sausage and cold cuts produce developed mostly right before, like during the Second World War and after the Second World War, because at that time there were lots of Russians and Armenians who fled from Russia to Iran in the north of Iran, and it was there in Gilan province where the first factories producing this kind of meat opened up. First producers were, of course, Armenians. And then they moved to Tehran and opened their factories around Tehran as well. And slowly started to open sandwich shops all around Tehran. And that is why even now, many sandwich shops, especially the old ones, and the most popular cold cut producers are Armenian, and sometimes they have even Armenian names. An interesting fact is that they used to use a different type of bread back then, which is now very rare and very hard to find actually at sandwich shops. And the name of that bread was bulki, which is actually a Russian word for a small piece of bread. Even nowadays, this bread, bulki bread, is considered like the most classic sandwich bread. When sandwich shops became popular, they started to use other things to put inside the sandwich, inside bread. But I am going to talk about different types of sandwiches a little bit later. And for now, let's check out the second sandwich shop that we visited. The second experience was much better, but the thing I didn't actually like about the sandwiches was that both of them, both chicken and the tongue, they were cooked, and they didn't have much seasoning and didn't have much sauce. Like you could add only mayo or ketchup to it yourself. So the meat itself was quite dry and didn't have much seasoning. Otherwise, I think that is actually quite a healthy option for a sandwich, I suppose. But for now, let's move to the kitchen and try to make a basic Iranian-style sandwich together. I have all the ingredients at home except bread. So now we are going to get some fresh baguette. There are a few places where you can get this baguette bread that is used usually for sandwiches. So you can buy prepackaged bread from a supermarket, or you can buy it from a bakery called Noon Fantasy, like fantasy bread. So that's the place where they usually sell bread for sandwiches, hamburgers, or the place where I am going to is actually a small shop where they sell everything that is needed for a sandwich. Here we are in the kitchen. I bet you were surprised to find out that baguette in Iran is this actually, and it has, to be honest, very little in common with the French one, the French version. This is a typical size of an Iranian sandwich, and I bet an average Iranian can eat the whole of it. But I'm making the sandwich for my husband, so I will use only half of it. So let me cut it in half and prepare it and show you what are the ingredients I'm going to use. Baguette bread, called baguette. Of course, we have cold cuts, called in Persian kalbas or jambon. To be honest, I haven't figured out the difference between jambon and kalbas myself after living so many years in Iran. If you know the difference, please let me know in comments what it is. By the way, it has some pistachios in it, if you can see them here. So that's the type that surprised me the most. And we have some veggies. So we have tomatoes, goja farangi. We have lettuce called kahu in Persian. And finally, we have khiyar shur, which is pickles. And also, Iranians usually use ketchup or mayonnaise in their sandwiches, but because I'm preparing a slightly lighter version, I am using a sauce based on yogurt with fresh basil and dried tomatoes and some garlic, dried garlic. So yeah, that's for the sauce. So let's make it. It is quite common in Iran to take out the soft part of the baguette because Iranians call it dough, and they think that's not what bread needs to taste like. But I'm not going to do that. So Iranians usually apply the sauce afterwards, like when the sandwich is ready, but I'm going to put some on the bread as well to make it more moist. Now we'll go for the cold cuts. So I think I'm gonna put just 2 of them. That would be enough. Although a standard Iranian sandwich will have like maybe 3 or 4 pieces packed in it. And now we'll go for some kyorshu, some pickles, tomatoes, and of course kohu, lettuce. And then top it up with more sauce. And it's done. This is a very basic, very standard Iranian style sandwich, but there are tons of other versions of sandwiches. For example, there is Olivier sandwich, which has Olivier salad inside, which in Europe is known as Russian salad. And also there is, of course, falafel, which is also served pretty much like this, but it has falafel instead of cold cuts. And also, I think in recent years, sandwiches with kuku sabzi or kuku zamini are getting more popular. It's kind of potato patties or herbs patties. And maybe because they are cheaper than the meat version. And of course there are like more rare but more interesting, I think, versions as a sandwich with the tongue, which I showed in the previous video. And for example, a sandwich with brains. That would be awesome to try it out. If I do, I will definitely share it with you. So let's move on to the final sandwich shop that we visited. Curious to know about your experience with Iranian sandwiches. Have you ever tried one? If so, what was it like? Did it resemble the one that I made, or was it something else? How did you like it? What is your maybe favorite sandwich shop? And would you give this kind of sandwich a try? Please share all your ideas and all your thoughts in comments, and don't forget to subscribe so that you won't miss my next video. See you soon in the next video, and thanks again for watching it and for being with me today. Khodafez.